What's up, super starseed humans? How are you today? I am just wake up with CoCo, man. Just be coachy, man. We ain't perfect. Just wake up and be coachy, be cool. That's what be coachy is, and it's phonetics, and it's actually magic. CoCo and the word Coco is not about me. It's about the cosmic collective. What's up, love and grace? Good rise and star seeds. My Marco Polo thing, I need to pay money and blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going to do it this way. And normally this is what I've been doing for the past 2 years is waking up with my polo group of monads that have been consciously putting organic bodies, watching the world news, feeling rough today. So glad to see your face. Well, I can probably tell you why. That's why I'm on here. Yesterday I had it. Holy crappa. But we're going to be okay. I want to talk about it because we're coming in on this algorab alignment. This algorab, y'all go tell your friends to come over here. We got to build this channel up. Come on, come on. Go tell them to come over. Say this crazy, she ain't crazy no more. We're getting it. You know why? Because our monad teams have been building it. See, man, we got some heavy information coming in right now. 2017, okay, we had this ecliptic lineup. Crap. I'm at 10%. I've never thought you were crazy. LOL, I feel it. Don't do LOL, girl. Don't do that no more. Hi, no LOL, okay? Let me tell you why. Because you're doing a line and a zero and a line. So whatever frequency you put out, whatever you say, whatever you type, even if you don't know what that frequency band is, you're blocking a seed. See, this is people think that when you write letters, like people respond to us like KK drives crazy. We can't deal with it because you're sending me a splitter. Now I know everybody don't know that. I'm not getting on nobody. I'm just reminding y'all. So find a little happy face or something to put on that, right? Don't block yourself. No, it's all new information. I mean, this is because look, my monad team. I'm a processional being. I didn't know that. If you weren't fully activated already and gone through ascension, you're not a processional being here now. If you're not fully activated, you might be connected to, well, you are, not mine. Every single one of y'all are connected to a processional being that came here in this timeline in order to activate these new codes when everything blew up so that we would have the consciousness to trump what? The 13 original Alpha Draconic families. Let's get straight to the point. If you go do anything about the 13 families and the Rothschilds and all this stuff, right? I can take these off. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I got the fan off. Who else is here? Y'all say hi. And please forward this and share this. I call in for all my YouTube subscribers and everyone who resonates that no matter what they have on this channel, you will see it. I call that every single one of the people and the humans right now that need to hear this will see it and hear it in one way or another. And there's no way that this information can be blocked from my channel. See, why am I saying that? Because those 13 original families, right? And we had, so I did, I know I do. I have that DNA. I'm a Rothschild. But there were, because I was an adopted rape baby, Bryan College Station in this incarnation, incarnation in this incarceration, because really what it was. And even now I know how I ended up in that incarceration, but it was all for now, right? To learn our powers, to get through. So the 13 families and the Rothschild DNA that was leading the consciousness, because that's how it works, right? And I didn't know all this, okay? How it works is that within each lineage of DNA, you have a group that will govern that particular consciousness. Now, when you're dealing with Freemasonry, okay, which Freemasonry is not bad, okay, keeping the Mason down to 33 and then convincing everybody that you control it and then not teaching anybody else how to manifest down here the easy way that they're doing it is not okay. And the Freemasonry 33 it goes all the way up to 55. But most of them didn't even have maybe the equivalent to go over 44. Okay? Now, when I say 33, 44, 55, what I'm saying is what parallel they're controlling to. So you can't control the equator, okay? You can't, because that's 33. 33, think of this circle, okay? 33, and this is getting to Libra, all right? This is going to be a major Libra. In fact, I probably should have put that on that, because that's what Algorab is. It's in Libra. We got a lot going on in Libra. All my Libras say, what's up? And I bet you have a lower back tattoo. 33 parallels like the belt. It really is. It's the belt like on Pokemon, right? I mean, which is what Pokemon was. That's a great example. Pokemon was a 33 masonry character that was utilized to belt Arcturus and siphon energy. Now, we didn't know that. We were like, oh, Pokemon, right? No. See, and the 33 parallel is controlling shadows. It's because it's the 711. You're right in the middle of polarization. Everything's polarized down here. Light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. You can't help it. You're coming into a low, light's coming into density. You're going to have a shadow. It doesn't like completely line up. You know, everybody talks about shadows, getting rid of your shadows. You ain't ever going to get rid of your damn shadow. Can you get rid of your shadow? When you walk and the sun's at an angle, can you get rid of your shadow? No. Like, it just depends on what time of the day you come out, right? There might be like one point in the middle of the day that light shines directly down on you and you have no shadow. So Algorab and Libra, okay, is where, and these 13 families, okay, know all this stuff and knew those of us who brought in codes to elevate it. Now, the 13 families of the Rothschild, and what Rothschild was and what I found out down here, right? Because there's a lot of us that are descendants of Rothschild that were illegitimates. Hitler was an illegitimate Rothschild. I talk about him quite often right now. Because how did Hitler get all that information? Because he's in the Rothschild lineage. If you, I don't care who you think you are. I don't care who your mama says she is, who her daddy says she is, because only 3% of your DNA makes up your eye color, your hair color, the way you fart like mom, the way you sleep like dad, the way you walk. Did you know that? 3% of your DNA was active. That's it. The other 97% of your energy and your DNA was being held in a gate so that others could use it. And when I say others, I mean that 1%. Because they knew you had, you know, you were 97% active, but you didn't know that information was coming in for you. I don't want to confuse you. Rothschild lineage, if you go back in history, there were 4 or 5. I need to look at it again. I'm seeing the chart. I know there was at least 4 families, and each one, I mean, there was only one family of Rothschild that was London, England, and the other was Ireland and France. I mean, and the organics of the Rothschilds were in Ireland. Well, there was all, organic beings don't die. If you're of pure lineage and a pre-Merovingian like me, you don't die. Meaning you'll get to, everybody's getting to this point because your consciousness knows that, I never remember dying. Never, ever, ever, ever. I've never had a dream that I died, nothing. I mean, but you can't kill me. And because I'm the prophet, I'm the prophecy that brought down this Masonic crap. But that's because I had that hidden Rothschild DNA. And I didn't know any of this, right? 2017, I just got a shock Kundalini activation in my backyard and had to start planet Earth. And it happened all at once, and when you're Libra, especially, and all of us have Libra energy. Okay, if you don't have it in your chart, it just means you've already mastered it or you're using it as a hint, but it doesn't matter. Everyone has Libra. Now, those of us who have more Libra, then you can basically think of us, I mean, the really best way to think of it is the light and dark consciousness of Shambhala, all coming in through one salt inside the body of consciousness that affects the entire human race, because you're balancing light and dark. You have to, where it's two big bubbles. Algorab, you got to remember, it's Al Gore. All right, 33 Mason, boom, boom, boom. We also have a new digital currency named Algorand. Algorab, dead on, is 12 degrees Libra. Dead on is 12 degrees Libra, okay? The scale. So right now, the sun's at 10 degrees Libra. So basically, we're on the scale. The whole collective. All 5 realms this time. Because we didn't just change 3 dimensions. We had the power in the monad here on the ground to change 3 dimensions. 3, 4, and 5. We're changing 5 realms because there's no longer separate consciousness for each set of species that's being kept from and split out. It's like you have 3 spotlights now that are coming and aligning to one, because if you've got Syrian consciousness, you are on this side. If you've got raw consciousness, you're seeing everything. If there's really galactic consciousness, raw consciousness, Syrian consciousness. What's the other one? There's one more. There's 4. And why? Because this record was going over and over and over and over and over, and we were repeating. I mean, I'm repeating this lifetime right now, and it's dead on Mary Queen of Scots. I mean, I can go back and read Mary Queen of, even all the way to what happened 2 days ago. My life has always been about my son, Rex James, which is King James, but he got named by Dave Chappelle in this realm because I was just trying to, but he still got the name King James. See, because that's how it works in different dimensions. I still got named Christy down here, but my adopted mom had 5 days to name me, and she was going to name me Christina, but she thought it sounded too Hispanic. So I ended up getting named Kristen, which is my name, but in this realm I got named it for some crazy reason, but it still got named. Does that make sense? Because it's different dimensions, you're picking it up. Well, Algorand is... Well, I just said Algorand. That's a digital currency, and it's only 30 cents. I'd go buy it, especially if you've got Libra. Because really what it is, it's can glow in light and dark, but way out in the galaxies. I mean, we're talking deep space and then solid energy light that's coming in and forming a vector down here, which is what Libra is. It was a hinge. It was literally a hinge, a gate hinge with 5-dimensional cycles in that held the balance. It's why it's the only one that's not an animal, right? It's because it was a damn scale. Not only was it a scale, it was an elevator. All right, I can show you about that later, but we won't worry about it. We'll keep talking about it. So when you have Algorand, okay, and this is the collective energy right now, and you might have it in your chart. So if you have 10 degrees, okay, to 14 degrees, then you have Algorab, AB, in, and which is like AB blood in your chart, which means full on light, full on dark, shadow, boom, boom, boom. So everything in your life is like massive scale. It's either really, really great or it's really, really crap. And then it's like, again, with that whole Freddy Krueger thing, you know, it's like Freddy Krueger jumping in the garden. But whenever you're a master, like when you're a Libra and you have that energy, then, and down here in this polarization, then you are learning not to react, because if you react, you're going to create it. And when you have Algorab, man, it's like it happens quick, because you're in, there's nothing else moving around in it, meaning there's no crossover you know, there's no edits, there's no layers of film. You really have to think about this whole thing as like editing film. Is, you know, taking a camera roll, and then just like the, you know, I'm picturing an editing floor at a movie, because it is. It's Mason 33. It's like they're trying to set the whole world up as a movie set. but it's not going to work this time, because we're conscious, and you can't just lay film over film, and we're awake and we're like, hold on, wait a minute, that's pretty freaking weird. But trust, they would have gotten away with it before, because we would have been running around worried about our corporate job, worried about this, worried about that, and we wouldn't also have had the 55-degree understanding of what's going on at 33 to be able to make a switch where we are now at 44 and where we're sticking. But understand that this entire, everything you know, everything that you know about anything down here is somewhat messed up and not the way you do it. But the good news is that we have it in our consciousness, meaning you're connected to those of us that have already awoken that, walked it, lived it, some of y'all, with us, right? So you have that information now, so it's no longer foreign. So in your consciousness codes, you're looking for it. You know those highlights or those comic strips that it's like, here's a picture and here's a picture, and tell me what's different. You know, kind of like Find Waldo. You know, where's the cat? And the cat's purple in this one, and the cat. Which every human being now with a 44 is flipping from either, you know, some of them didn't even have 33 codes, because that's all in Libra. I'm going to keep, I know you're not going to get all this. It's a lot. You just got to watch these every day and it'll make sense. And then when Fern gets up, we're going to start on the book. It's been crazy. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Y'all help me. I just like, my brain went, how is everybody? We got 7 on here. Can y'all give me a thumbs up? Evidently it makes a difference. I don't even know. By the way, like over 2.5 years, my YouTube channel's made $100. So just FYI. Don't, I don't know why that's coming in. Don't use YouTube to get information out. You can build an organic audience with much less than 50,000. Don't trip about that stuff, is what I'm saying. Where was I? Somebody tell me. Is anybody here? I can't rewind it, so I don't know where I was. Anyway, so we'll just skip. We'll go 33, 44, 55. And what I mean is the 55th dimension, and I'm not joking. Hi, seeing you back on. Hey, right? I'm glad to be back. I know that you guys, y'all were connected to me the whole time. Y'all were connected to me the entire time. So Algorab, light, dark, 10, 14 degrees. Well, my sun is on 14 degrees Libra, okay? So this is why I know all of this. Well, Algorab also it's a lot of shadow in Egypt. I mean, it's dead on. So it's like basically when you can think of it as like this. When you're at 10 degrees, you're in the sand. You're now in Egypt. All you got is heat, sand, wind, clothes, shadow, and a body. As you start walking to 12 degrees, now you're at the temple. Now you're in the pyramid. You're on the scale. You've tipped into, and 12 degrees is the entire zip alignment. Oh my God, I just saw that image of my tooth splitting in Joshua Tree. It lines up all three, boom, 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 kind of like a leveler. Perfect. Because it's in the middle. I'm in the pyramid. Now I'm walking out of with a bunch of people in the pyramid. Boom. I'm on 14 degrees. I'm on the other side. So now I've had to go in, pick up the bags, make sure everything's cool, talk to all the people, get it all together. People. See, over here is desert, dry, sand, wind, heat. Over here is people. And literally in the constellations, you can go look at this, because right on the other side of 14 degrees is when you get into the dimensional count, where you're going into Hercules and you start going into body codes, which are constellations that overlap, because that's how energy's spinning out there. It's spinning out there and it's attached to us down here, so it starts spinning in us. It is how bodies are made. Everything's made from the star systems. I mean, crap, I'm controlling Bitcoin from it right now because I know phonetics and I know numerology, because I had Rothschild DNA that reactivated and we took over the consciousness of them. That's the main thing I want y'all to see right now, is that that consciousness is no longer in control. It hasn't been. What had to happen, though, is we had to rewrite a shadow this whole last year. I know, right? Y'all know it. Y'all think about it. See, and this is like Dolo. If anybody knows Dolo, the pilot man, I want on his show. I smoke a blunt with him and we'll talk about this, because him and I, man, because he's got that Antares, right? He's got that Uriel. But what he doesn't have is the Syrian consciousness to be able to explain the organics, because, that astrology and all that don't do much whenever you're a living being and you're still trying to make it and your body's shutting down, or this and this and that, right? How can you, because the whole thing is to get your bubble tuned to where you start getting free stuff and everything like my team's getting. I mean, things are changing. I promise. And if you're not quite there yet, you'll get clean enough to where it will. So let me finish with the Libra. So when you get to 14 degrees, you're going into the human. So now you've got a balanced consciousness in a human body, in a human bubble. At 16 degrees of Libra, it goes boulder. Have you considered doing a course? Yes, I have. I bet so here's what, look, I had to walk it. What happened was this is what happened. All this information in 2017, the ancients awoke. Okay, this is processional. This is just fact. There was, and I'll tell her name. It was Meru Matu, and she was a Syrian walk-in soul, one of the first walk-ins. And she came back in to reactivate the star information. Okay, she is from Sirius B. So Sirius B is very mental, Tesla, da-da-da-da-da. Okay. So when there was a group of us, that was her main mission when she came here, was to activate us, because we had to take back the precession of the equinoxes. What does that mean? That meant that we knew, because this was a starseed plan. Now, The whole star seed and the understanding and explaining it through stars wasn't a concrete way that we were going to understand it until 2018. What do I mean by that? I mean, us star seeds came here trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. We awoke, started awakening as a group, our DNA, and when that happens, your kundalini blows out. All right, and it sits there. If you're not moving it, if you're not walking it, if you're not clearing it, see, and this is what I learned big time. Whenever people do etheric surgery and stuff, oh my God, stop doing it. Do not get any etheric surgery unless someone's going to tell you your aftercare. This is big time. Because what happens is it blows out. Well, then you have to walk it or you have to get out of it. And that's what we didn't remember is embodiment. We didn't remember how to embody it. We didn't remember how to keep going through it. We didn't know how to go through manifestation cycles, understanding your full intuition, right? Because that had been suppressed in our DNA for so long that it had literally nobody on the planet remembered. Literally nobody. I mean, guys, nobody was running this shit. My awakening was during this 18 years old. What month? Because May is when I got my brains. And I mean, I went from corporate Barbie. Look, y'all, before 2017, and this is what, as more and more information comes out, because I have 5 healing modes. We've got a website that's almost done. For $22, you're going to be able to get a print out. I don't even pull your chart. I don't want to look at the astrology. You get the details of the star points. And the book tells you how to look up your star points. It's going to be $33. It's going to be available on a link. I'm not going to get it just perfect because everyone needs it. So we're doing our best just to get the information out. There's big bank codes in there. There's numerology in there. It shows you how to pull up your chart equal to how I did it. So, because since I'm a scientist, I mean, there's a certain way that I have calculated that information, and over the 300 plus charts that I've done, it's all based on that. So there's a certain way to pull it. And then it's got the energies on there. And this first book is talking about programs. Now, Algorithm and Libra, right, are the balance of all these energetics and programs. So I'm not really talking about that yet, but I'm going to get to it because 0 degree Virgo, where Venus is right now, is the bomb diggity, and it is Virgo energy, and it's the new Regulus degree, okay? And it's all energy. So, and that's where we are now, is balancing out. But I mean, that's the prophecy, right? Virgo speaker, the wheat. Everybody knows the prophecies about the wheat, right? Or not. But wheat speaker, right? The golden wheat, the prophecy of Venus. I'm Venus, 6th planet stellium in the 7th house. I'm Venus. 100. I'm Venus with legs down here. But I'm an ancient processional being that was also an Egyptian that was in a tomb. And you know, through the consciousness in the Queen's Chamber and the Queen Network, because, you know, everything in Egypt was a program laid out for what now? Egypt was a program laid out for now. Why did we have Egypt? Because we forgot we had a shadow. Everything in that Egyptian timeline, when you're dealing with Isis, and when you have a lot of Libra energy, you're dealing with Isis. You got Isis energy. What does that mean? That means that you got a ton of Venus energy. What does that mean? That means that you are manifesting people in your life and healing them and clearing them, and you don't even know that you're manifesting them quick as shit. The more Venus that you have, and Libra, the more Libra that you have in your chart, the more Isis hinge that you have. Now think about it. I'm telling you, there's a light and dark, and you're in a vector. So you're carrying a lot of Isis energy. Okay, well, Isis has Nephthys. Why? I mean, I took a picture yesterday, sent it to 2 people. One of the pictures was this way, and the other one's this way. It flipped it. But see, I've been walking it for so long because why? my kundalini blew out, and literally then you have all this carbon that's around you, and if you don't know that you're from Algorab, and you don't know that the world was fixing to blow up and you're walking in pure carbon, then you don't know that all of that is shadows of you. What if you have OOB? What's OOB? What degree Libra mood? Because that's what I'm getting to. So at 14 degrees, we're on the what degree Libra moon? So out of bounds. 29. See, okay, I'm getting you well, if you have 29 and some degrees of it, it's definitely Izar. So I'm getting there. So at 16 degrees, okay, now we got a boulder rolling. Well, Arcturus, we're coming up on Arcturus now. And what is Arcturus? Arcturus is, man, see, everybody wants to just say Arcturian mothers. And so you have Arcturus, definitely, but you not only have Arcturus with the 29-degree moon, you're not officially in the Boots constellation, you're on the other side. I hadn't got quite there. You have the toy soldier femme fatale body. You're like me. Meaning we have the most hybrid dot. If you have anything from 27 degrees Libra, I'm skipping around because we had a question. Y'all ask me questions, okay? 27 degrees Libra is Izar. Izar. And I can show you. Y'all want to see some trippy shit? Let me show you this. Google Earth. See, I've been walking it, guys. It's where I've been. I've been walking through the Kundalini, mastering this for my mastery to be able to come now and show us and teach others how to manifest without sexual energy, but in a feminine masculine relationship, and how to truly manifest, walk through the shadow, recognize the shadow, learn from it, but only because I have so much Arcturus that I see the dark, and I channel the dark, and I channel the dead, and I channel the subconscious. Because everything down here is ass backwards. I mean, I legit in this life had a 360 spine fusion. In this life, my disc was taken out. I won't get into the patent that's on it. I was turned around and put back on as a three, and turned back and put back together. I know now, and I was angry about that because I was like, those riggers, and that's what I call the reptilians, okay? Those riggers sawed me in half. I mean, I was so mad, right? I mean, I'm just now not raging dragon. People that have been around me for the past 6-7 months, I mean, because I had to stand up for all of us, and I had to stand up to the main ones. So why did I do that? Now I know, because everything was ass backwards down here, and I wouldn't have been able to figure it out. You have to look at the negative space and the subconscious of everything. And a lot of us that have a lot of Arcturian energy, which is the midwives of the galaxies. Arcturus is the midwives of the galaxies. It's all of us that the consciousnesses of the light and the dark held in a balance so that we could know what to do next. See, and this is where a lot of people get screwed up, because when you have, so Arcturus, so we got the boulder rolling, right? We're in the body. So now we have Arcturus, and Arcturians, man, we can be real cool. We're, like the Arcturian fashion lines and everything that we're going to put out, and the CBD and the TH, I mean, all the stuff we're doing, because we're going to have some fun. We got 5 years. We're going to have some fun. But elegant, think Ralph Lauren and your midwife mother, right? But think none, because whenever an Arcturian's gonna lose their crap on you if you're not balanced, or you're gonna lose your crap in front of an Arcturian because they're mirroring your shadow. When you get clear and you have major Arcturus energy in your chart, which is basically starts at 20. So you can go from like 18 all the way into Izar, really, is a hinge, okay? Into 27 degrees, which now gets you in the body that is, I call it, it's the toy soldier femme fatale. We were hybridized and made to be the most badass bodies down here. Opposite what? Andromeda, 25, 27 degrees over there in what they called space that we had to rewrite because now we know it was just the consciousness of the Izarians. But we had the whole body. We were making the moves down here. See, Dolo was talking about this last night. See, a lot of us were made to be in the game to control the game because we were the Rothschilds. So you're the one that was sold off to fucking do it. I was for sure. I'm the missing daughter that everybody thinks and sister and da-da-da throughout the lineage because why? Because at some point we had way back, we had to make the Leah fail in order to make this planet in Ireland. Does everybody remember the Leah Felt? We're coming up on Sam Hine. That's why all this is coming up. But I mean, we signed, our families basically sacrificed one of us to be the earth because they knew that we were planet, that our energy makes, because it's not rock. It's not, that's what's wrong. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't be have this much sedation at the bottom of this glass beaker that has all these different layers of sand that are stuck at the bottom. It never should have got stuck there. It always should have been vibrating in the middle of that hourglass. But since they flipped it and the sedation went down, that was the thing. And then there were some of us that were so high powered down there that were being controlled from the other side, and we didn't know. You're an Izarian. But your consciousness was being controlled through what you would call space, which is also why they put me in that chamber, you know. And that man that did that reported to Eisenhower. I was 9 years old, Texas A&M. I can prove all of this. Let me show you this. I'm first going to show you, this is Libra. So here's Libra. All right, here's the Arcturian ray. This is the ray. Just think of this as this whole house of Libra right here. So they let all this energy come in. All right. This right here that's blocked is what's on the other side? Your Scorpio degree. And going on the other, so it's like 27, 28, and it's blocking that ray, okay? And then they let some energy in on the other side of that, which is 0 degree Scorpio. Now, when you get into so let me keep going. Let me show you what this is. Let me show you here. You might have some Excalibur sword moments right now. What does this mean to you? Because I don't even want to show you where I'm seeing this yet. I want you to look at it. What does it look like to you? Is this ringing any bells? Now let me show you where I am. Antarctica. At the very middle of Antarctica. You can go look at it right now. Once you find it, you can find it every time. Just go to the center. It's that little white dot. See that shiny dot? And then just blow that baby up. And there's the wheel that's associated to the star systems on this planet that they capped off on Antarctica. I'm an AB negative, but no, don't know birth time. That's okay. Because whenever we look at StarAONomy, and it's my birthday, I got 10 and 7 thumbs up. And hey, I'm an AB negative too, so I would love to coach you for a minute because I can help you a lot understand what the hell, okay? Especially when you're an AB negative because you're connected to the entire consciousness. You have to live by subconscious. You are Neptune. If you are Syrian, if you have a lot of Cancer energy, you're Neptune. Well, what's Neptune? Your subconscious. I can show you that in a chart. It's all by numerology and triangulation of numerology. I know how to break down Tesla codes. It's how the monad put it back. But it's also why I've been gone for a while, because we've been living it. It's why I can come back here and teach it now. Or just remind y'all. Because, see, I've been telling my monad crew, because this is the damn truth. Everyone thinks down here in this last cycle that I'm like this all-powerful being. Well, I am down here on Earth, because I got stuck down here on Earth for 1.5 million years. So Christy has just learned how to maneuver it down here. But most of y'all were my teachers on the other side. Like, I tell my crew, I'm like, y'all are going to really shit whenever you figure out who saved the planet. Because I'm the little girl that was at the back of the class that you didn't think was listening. I'm the one that over on the other side, everybody thought that I wasn't listening. I wasn't paying attention. I was a little bit too much of a rebel, that there was no hope for me, and I'm the one who helped save the world. So when I meet y'all, I'm like, you're so fucking powerful. Oh my God. Why? How do I know that? Because I mirror you. That's how I learn. You heal by healing others. You draw out their power. This is all of us, especially if you have a lot of AB negative, especially if you have Arcturus, especially if you have a lot of Libra, or you have done a ton of good clearing and you're now crystal clear. Because if you're crystal clear, you're a giant mirror. So whenever people come into your bubble, what you're doing, once they draw in, because you're fine usually in the beginning. They get it, they love it, they're like, oh my God, you're speaking your truth, everything's cool. Then they start healing, then they start activating. Then what happens? 24, 48 hours later, their kundalini blows out and it's attacking them. And when they see you, all they see is their shadow shit. And they blame you. You came here to heal me, now my life is a mess. Well, that's because I kind of cleared you. Now you got to deal with your crap. So stop yelling at me, because I don't know what you're talking about. Now on the flip side, once you get past that, what happens is, now the ones that do merge and that are like, oh, okay, I get it, we work it out, because when you meet me in person, you meet CoCo or you meet Christy. CoCo's a teacher. Christy's down here like I'm talking to you right now, but you don't normally meet Christy for a minute because I'm having to coach you so that you can get into my bubble, so that then we can have an understanding. And then you aren't going to throw energy at me. I'm not going to project on you. Now we're at least merged to where we're getting along and we're not blaming each other now. And I don't care if you get it, believe, agree. I don't want you to agree with everything. That's not the point. I want to learn from you too. But I can't blame you. You can't blame me. So once we get in there, now what happens is I start seeing your power. Because it's whatever your gifts are, whatever your powers are, then I'm seeing them. I'm teaching you. But then as soon as I teach you, guess what? I get them too. And it's how it works, period, down here. It's why I'm getting this book out, so that you can do your whole family's charts. And whenever you start seeing how these programs overlay, then what happens is your body is a bunch of codes. So what happens is subconsciously, after you do some charts and you start understanding these energies, I just got chills all over me. After you start understanding these energies, your field is tuned to it. It's in your program. So whoever walks in your bubble, you don't even need to look at their chart at some point. I mean, yesterday I walked in and I'm like, you have Cancer energy. So she's like, no, I don't. I'm all this Aries. And I'm like, let me look at your draconic. And sure enough, Venus, 27 degrees Cancer. I'm like, I knew it. because that's her most power. I can feel it because I've done so many of these charts now. It's like literally when you enter into my bubble, I pick up that energy from your speech patterns or from whatever it is, and I have an Akashic library over here that I've assigned. Okay, that's Arcturus, that's this, and over time I've done it so many times that now, as soon as your energy comes in my field, it pings that Akashic library without me having to do anything, and it comes to me. It's how it works. It's how everything works down here, because you're just basically in your left brain, you're setting up a little database computer. You're just having to kind of rename what things are and put them in different buckets. Then that goes through your heart, then that goes to your right brain. Now we've got a connection. Now we can do something new. If I just go into this left brain, which is what we were all stuck in, why? Because this ray wasn't on the planet. Like, quite literally, this is what Egypt and everything was all about. When you go look at if you go look at the pyramids and the Sphinx, and you look at the alignments of everything was to align everything back. It's why so many people have a drooping eye. It's why children were born with drooping eyes. It's why we had this piece on our skull that was all the human race had a merged skull right here. Not supposed to be. Why? Because there wasn't a full chism energy connection coming from your coccyx cable, which is at the very, very, very bottom of your spine, and it goes all the way up your energy field and connects to your third eye and your chism. And if this energy ray isn't here on the planet for us to get through here, it stays separated. Now we got astrology. Get it? You got houses. If you notice right here, right now, and this is how, when my astrology charts pull up, a lot of the times, I don't even have houses on them anymore. Because my astrology, and this is on astro.com that I look up every day. Some days I'll pull it up and it won't even have houses. That's because right now I needed to see that. Because really there are no more houses. It's like making a cheesecake, and then this is how I describe it. You make a cheesecake, or let's say we're going to go get a cheesecake, but hell, Grandpa likes chocolate and it's his birthday, but the kids like strawberry, so we're going to go get one of those cheesecakes that's got the different flavors in it. Okay? Well, how do they make that at the factory? Most likely they have a big round thing and they've got these I love cheesecake. Now I'm thinking about cheesecake. They're popping the cheesecake out in these different flavors, and then they have it all sectioned off, and then it cooks and bakes, and then it stays in its little section. Well, if you're a pistachio nut, and then next door to you is blueberry, then you know that you're pistachio nut. You're feeling good with yours pistachio, right? You know blueberry's next door. Y'all might even be talking. Like, it's cool. Like, you like blueberry, but, you've never felt blueberry. You never tasted blueberry. Like, you have no idea what blueberry's about. You're just talking on the other side of the wall. Well, what's happened here is that whole section's come out all at once to the entire collective. We're now in an 8-house system. We're back to an 8-house system, which is what it should have been to begin with, and which it always was when the age of Leo, when Leo was in the first house. We should have never had Aries in the first house. They blipped us back to the goddamn dinosaur age, y'all. For real. Putting Aries in the first house. When you put Aries in the first house, then you're going back to bone. You're going back to skeleton. You're going back to you're going back to Neanderthal. Well, that's the first house of who you are. Come on, we got past that a long time ago, right? In the age of Leo, Aries was in the 5th house. Why? Because you got to freaking take charge. You need to be an entrepreneur to be a galactic human. You need to realize you need to make your own money. How are you going to do it? You don't need somebody else paying your insurance. You don't need somebody else doing this. You got to have Aries in your 5th house, not your 1st house. You put Aries in the first house, now you got to have what? Libra on the other side balancing it out, and that's what we're done with. Why? Because that whole thing came up and Blueberry came over into Pistachio, and Pistachio's going, whoa, man, get away from me. What's Blueberry doing over here, man? I got my own vibe. I'm Pistachio with nut. I ain't ever had Blueberry over here. Blueberry, I like you, but what are you doing? You're getting too close. Screw you, Blueberry. Go away, go away. And Blueberry's going, nuts! What are these rocks? What are these rocks? And then they're merging together, and then they're like, actually, this is pretty cool. Blueberry, pistachio, nut. Hey, what's up, Blueberry? Tell me about yourself. Scorpio rising, Leo sun, and moon. See, I need degrees. See, that's the thing. I don't even... This is what StarAONomy is. It's called StarAONomy because you're getting back to your Aeon. I teach you your powers before you got segregated off into astrology. So I've been doing this for 3 years and I pack it back. I mean, and this all goes back to your blood type too. That's your starseed points are gonna go and equate back to your blood type, what you were able to bring in. Okay, so when people tell me my birthday's March 20th, what's my sign? I'm like, I have no idea, because my brain doesn't work left brain on this. My brain works right brain. I'm putting it back together. So when y'all give me that, this is why an astrologist and I need to be doing this together, because starseedology is looking just unaware. No, don't apologize. What I'm trying to tell you is, tell me some degrees. Don't apologize. Don't ever apologize. Please stop apologizing. Don't. Number one, everybody, stop apologizing. Unless you really did something wrong. Because you don't want to tell the universe that you did something wrong for not knowing ancient processional energy and information. There's like only like 4 or 5 of us on the planet that can even explain to you right this second. I mean, come on. You have things I don't know. Tell me your degrees on here when we're on these, and I can get it dead on. So if you, astro.com is what I use, and I set it to equal house system. So if you go to astro.com, put your information in where it says default, in the second box where it says houses default, use the drop down, change that to equal house, and then next time I'm on, or right now, give me some degrees. Yes, I'm still doing readings. I can't draw the charts right now, but Fernando can. I have others that I'm training, and that's the other thing. I'm getting this book out so I can get some of y'all trained up, because when the website comes out, no, you're welcome. Give me a degree and I can help you more. So if you want to take a minute and pull it. I'm on for an hour right now. I'm still going. We're back to my birthday. 10-7 syncs. So, blah, blah, blah. I'm all over the place. Y'all have more questions? I'm picking up your questions in your consciousness. Email me. Now, first, on the About page on here, okay, and I know they're expensive because I took off this sale. Don't worry about the price. Email me and tell me what you think you need and what you can do, okay? I just can't, it takes a while to draw the chart, which is why I'm getting it into a computer system. I've already got the API figured out to where y'all can get this stuff for $22, so that then I can have people on standby that you come and bring your consult. It's like, here's my prescription, here's my energies. Literally my team and I, once we see that, like, you get your $22 chart, you're having something. Inflamed, do you know birth time? Thank y'all for helping out on here. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I go back, if y'all comment, I go back and follow y'all's videos too. Um, shoot, where was I? Whenever I start interacting with y'all, I get pulled into YouTube consciousness land in y'all's little group. I can literally see y'all all sitting there in y'all's different rooms. Somebody who has a ton of flowers in their room. Somebody on here right now out of the 10 of us is staring at a bunch of red and pink flowers. I'm seeing a white something with a bunch of red flowers on it. That's something for somebody, because that's what I'm telling you. Like when you get so entwined with people, you can see when you activate your raw consciousness, because this is what raw consciousness people always had. The Capricorn Brigade is LIBRA. We'll get into that another day. Right now we'll stay on Libra. Okay, so we're in Arcturus and you're going through Arcturus, and then you get to Spica at 22 degrees. That's wheat. So if you have 22 degrees in your chart, Libra, so 20 to 24, then you are a Spican. Not just an Arcturian, you're a Spican. Now, Spica, S-P-I-C-A, is the wheat. It is the prophetic ray that was blocked on that chart. It's basically the opposite of static. It's flow, frequency, energy. So Wi-Fi affects you horribly. It really shuts your energy field down until you know that that's what it is, and you consciously protect your bubble by just calling in right now. I call in for all energetic frequencies that no longer sustain my field to be cut, and I call for all illusions that were being held in that field to be shown to me. I'm an Aries Sun, Libra rising, Cat Moon, Stellium in Aries. So your stellium in Aries, you probably don't see things, you don't hear things, okay? Because this is where you get into the body. And this is where you realize, okay, that, see, because some of us have more animal intuition, and some of us came in with visions and hearing things because you had a higher consciousness. And when you have more of an Aries, or like me, you were in a program, right? Like serious programs, like Orion programs, programs, blood control programs. Then you don't have visions, you don't hear things. My curtains are blue and pink with flowers. Maybe that's it. I was seeing red though. I'm seeing red roses. Somebody's got like something in their room. It's like this major red flower. It might just be one picture, and it might be something to do with the grandparent or something too, which is why it's coming through. Again, I pick up the consciousness of the dead. I deliver a lot of messages. The person might not even be on here yet. It's multidimensional. There is no time. That's my point. I can see everyone, and I'm talking to everyone that's going to end up doing this video, but that's what you're going to be doing too when you figure out that that's what you're doing. It's trippy AF, but it's so true. When you have a lot of Aries, or you have more in your body, then you have to trust your intuition. And see, that's the thing. What is your intuition? Being able, because it's gonna be ass backwards. It's gonna be, but Christy, I always take a right to get to work. Why is it telling me to go left? I don't want to take a left. I want to take a right. Well, you need to go left. There's a reason that you're going left. You're driving grids. Oh crap, I freaking missed my turn again. How many of y'all are missing your turns and going in circles? How many of y'all are driving around missing your turns like 100 times and having to go in circles constantly? Who? Anybody here? Anybody here? We're going to do a special right now. I'm telling y'all, email me, tell me what you can send, and we'll get you some information. I'll work with you. I'll work with you. I got 2 people here. We're putting the book together. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me what you can send me as a donation to balance, and I will send you that amount of information. Yes, it's how it works, babies. Like, this ain't about money. You just have to keep it in balance. It's why now those prices are expensive because they take so much time, and I got all this other stuff that I'm getting out. I see cycles and the infinite makos pay out. See, so blue flame integration. So you have more of a galactic consciousness. You most likely have some stuff in Pisces or Aquarius. Maybe you have, and that's the main thing right now on the chart. I'm glad that came in. But blue flame is seeing matrix stuff. So you're tuned into that raw consciousness. You might even have some Aquarius or Andromeda, something in the higher degrees. I have Mars and Aqua. Bam. What's Mars? Making it real. Mars makes it real. So if you have Mars in Aquarius, then what you're seeing is the Aquarian timelines, which were what? Quantum. We were stuck in an Aquarian age. The whole collective was stuck in Aquarius because we forgot that we were the Aquarians. We were the Pan. We were the fish who had to jump in Atlantis, Lemuria, or were we the organic beings that were on the Titanic that never died? Can you move your hair? So there's a 2 degrees Sag, baby girl. Ophiuchus 1. 0 to 3 degrees Sag. Now write these down. Write them down. You're getting the book. I'm giving it to you. 0 to 3 degrees Sag. Ophiuchus 1. What's Ophiuchus 1? Ma'at. What's Ma'at? Is that a person? No. It's consciousness of the Pharaoh. Did the Pharaoh have the consciousness of Ma'at when they came in? No. They had to clear to connect, just like we're connected now to Ma'at, to get the consciousness of galactic occultism and what really is the hell going on down here, because we're having a shift from Orion being in charge of this planet and everything down here to the Ophiuchian age, because we're having 1,000 years of peace, because this place was told jacked up. Welcome to year 2. We're about in year 3. Ophiuchus 1 is the power of the occult, somewhat similar to your Algorab that we were just talking about, except on Algorab with the full light and dark, you're bringing it in and hedging it now on this 33 vector. When you get on the other side of Scorpio, what does that mean? Scorpio is the emotional trauma of it all. Okay, so as you come out of Libra, 27, 28, 20. So now if you got 27, you're a Zarian, man. Femme fatale, Russian dolls. You better bet Russia was involved. I know how. So you got Russian doll and Russian doll and Russian doll. Okay, well now we're activated. We activated Andromeda. We rewrote Andromeda. That's why everything's so freaky weird right now. We're seeing the illusions fall, but it's like a cartoon out there because it's what it was. They were just planning on all of us being asleep so much that we'd fall back into that crap. So when you go into 0 degrees Scorpio, what that is the Apollonian degree. What's 0 degrees Scorpio? Apollonia. What's Apollonia? The Azarian consciousness, not grounded in the body. So now we're going Wonder Woman, Amazon women. Why? Because it was mostly feminine that could only connect. Why? Because we give birth. What does that mean? That means that you give birth, or you were, right? You have the female organs that are giving birth. So then no matter what, you're connected to 9 dimensions on the planet all the time. The fem in 9. This is why maternal instinct has to be listened to. It doesn't necessarily mean that women have to rule the fucking world. It means you need to fucking listen to us. And that we won't be put down and we won't be not heard. And if Caesar makes the same mistake of killing Jesus again, it's on his own goddamn head and it ain't got nothing to do with me and my kids. You hear? Because that's basically what had to be rewritten and redone. So whenever you get into Scorpio, now you're getting into the emotion of the ocean, S Corp I-O. S Corp I-O. Now we're getting into the 8th house. We're getting into the emotions of how we were financially utilized for our energy. And if you have anything 20, I've noticed on people's charts, 20, especially major star seeds, 20 to 24 degrees Scorpio, you have lived some shit. You've lost a kid, you've lost a like you've had some emotional crazy timelines because you were mastering it to hit Ophiuchus 1. Because you just brought in the light, you brought in the dark. Now, if you haven't mastered that before this lifetime, now you have to master those emotions in Scorpio so that you, when you get Sag 0, 1, 2, 3 occult information, you don't go Hitler on people. Because you have lived it. You have lost your child. You lost your money. You know what it's like to be down, and you're never going to do that to somebody else, no matter what. Now, if you get off balance when you get your power and you forget that, then you're going to flip back to a Scorpio moment. Does that make sense? Lena, I'm doing Polo Live. I'm at 66 minutes. I wanted to talk real quick too because Neptune, this is huge. And it's just now coming up at the end, but Neptune's finally out of Zeta Reticuli. Neptune at 21 degrees of Pisces, write it down. 21, 3, 2 plus 1 is what? 3. What's 3? A catalyst. No matter what. 3 is catalyst, 6 is flow, 9 is ignition. 3, I plant the bomb. 20 degrees Libra rising, so you were manifesting Arcturus. So you had a shit ton. Who is that? Blue flame. With the Ophiuchus, right? Okay, so your whole life, I wonder what year were you born? Your whole life, you had all these experiences, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, and you're manifesting Arcturus. So, see, that's like Lena. Lena's in my crew. Lena's a Monad crew member, Star Crew straight up. Lena, in her natal chart, 1975, Pluto 7 degrees, Libra. Lena is like you, Blue Flame, where in her natal chart, she might not have an Arcturian placement of 20 degrees because Arcturus placement is like blended already, okay? Some of y'all brought in the experiences to manifest Arcturus. So you might have all Sag and all air. You might have all fire and all air. So like your whole lifetime was sorting through all these experiences for your entire lineages, all your DNA counts, all of them, so that then you were helping to the collective project a balance because you're already so balanced from way out there, but not in the body. You get it from this perspective, but then your challenge is then walking it. Whereas people humans that come in and get clear and have more animal and might not know or see it, but they trust their intuition and shit just goes great for them. And they don't know nothing. Right? And you're like, what the? Well, number one, they could be baby souls. They're baby souls, so they just get away with it because they don't know no better. But then also, it's because that's that 0 degrees Virgo. It doesn't matter what you know, it's what are you vibrating to. So so it's like Arcturus had to be manifest down here. We had to bring it in. We had to bring this balance back of consciousness. It wasn't just here and balanced. We had to balance the realms with all the beings down here on the ground that were connected to that star system. No matter if you no matter, it's in the net. You're all on the same program. You're all dealing with balance. You just have different experiences that you're dealing with it, depending on what you signed up for to do, no matter, and depending who you're manifesting into your life, and depending on how you're interacting with them. Are you, and if you are not, if you're angering or you have anxiety or anything like that with it, and you have a fear, then what it does is it now I got this on my face, so now I got to figure out how to get it off. I'm like, hey, I don't like you. Why are you on my face? Because it's you, and you have to see that you're the only one who can pull your hand off your face. You don't have to love this hand. You don't have to never look at it again. You don't have to agree with what it's saying. But you also don't let this hand tell you what you believe, and you stand up for what you believe. And if this hand is going to stay attached to your body, then it's going to have to cooperate. Right? And then it blends to a 0 point, and then you can start doing something else. I hope that makes sense. I'm getting tired and these videos get so long. But Neptune, let me go to Neptune real quick, because it's right now at 1855 and 955, which has been a main, huge star link for me. And I want to remind y'all that once this book comes out, I have 3 binders from 2017, 2018, and 2019 that we're going to print and get out as books. And it's just all my notes in my from these sequences of this past 3 years of this eclipse. And why I'm talking about this is because as a collective, we started this in 2017. So what I'm saying, Michelle, there's my POS News. Y'all go follow POS News too, because we're linking that in with the COCHI. We're building a network over here, y'all. So many placements are opposing and inverting in my chart right now. Right, because it's flipping. That's my point. We're hinging, y'all. So 2017, you know, what I mean by that is I can go look at the date right now, because my birthday's in a few days. So it's like I can go back and look at October of 2017, and I can tell you the alignment that set up for the first time in 2017, the event that happened in 2018 when we were on Cosmic Christie doing this together. And then I can show you how that ended me up in a fucking full-on situation where I'm like, in 2019, because I had written it with y'all. We had brought it in from the star in 2017. We had grounded the information here in 2018, and it ended up projecting me into that whole situation in reality in order to deal with it in the physical, so that it could ground for the consciousness here now, and we could rewrite these cycles. And it, for every year that moves forward, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That same impact, it doesn't go away. You need to chart when things are happening to you, good or bad. When you have a big healing, or you see a synchronicity, or you do something, or if something happens, write it down. Look at the date. Go back a year, go back 3 months. I mean, go forward. Like, whenever you have new moon and you're manifesting stuff, you're going to see the first big in 3 months. It's going to take 3 months for that to hit your life. Now, if you don't remember that 3 months ago that you called in your twin flame, and then all of a sudden you have some weirdo showing up at your door, and you're like, where did this goon come from? And then you go back and look, oh crap, 3 months ago I did this. Why did a goon show up? What do I need to do with this goon? What do I need to do with this goon? Why is he showing up? That's not what I asked for, but evidently this is what is still stuck in me. So this is how he showed up. So now I got to deal. I can't close the door on the goon, because because I just went back and looked 3 months ago that I brought in my twin. So now the universe brought me this. So now I got to deal with this goon, because somehow or another that goon is what's blocking me from what I think I want, or maybe that is what I need, is that goon. But if I don't, but then I work with that goon for 3 months. Now I'm at 6 months. Now I'm like, oh shit, now I'm getting it. Like, oh crap, I can't. Now I'm so glad I didn't close the door on that goon. But oh my gosh, I don't want to deal with them right now. But it made me see a lot in myself. So by month 8, you're sending emails to the goon and you're like, hey, I hadn't talked to you in a long time, but I'm really sorry I slammed the door in your face, like that wasn't right. And you taught me so much and I'm so grateful for that. And then guess what happens? The doorbell rings and it's Prince Charming. With my crew and Lena and all of us on here and Michelle, we have seen it over and over. They're so sick of hearing me with this twin crap, and I'm sick of dealing with it. But also, too, it's because those of us who are high-powered starseeds, you're dealing with that goon because you're dealing with the king of the raw consciousness for every single one of us. You're healing that goon for you. But when you heal that goon, what you're healing, because if you're a queen, he's a king. I don't care how goony he is. If you're a queen, you're bringing in a king. If you're a queen and you have tutor energy, then that's a tutor baby. And you don't, and it's like if you want to slam the door on that, then you just slam the door on a million or plus of your ancestors that are in your DNA. So now you're not helping them neither. So that means that all your sisters are getting a goon show up at month 3. Now, if you talk to that goon to month 6 and you work it out, and because you don't judge and you're like, why did this show up? I got to freaking investigate this crap. And you get into the mystery of you to understand why he showed up and to heal whatever that is in the lineage, then guess what? All your sisters that come behind you might not, they're not going to get goon. They're going to get goonies. Ding dong, trick or treat. Because you blasted that thing. They don't have to deal with it, except for the pieces that they need to deal with. But that program of that goon showing up for just everybody ain't going to happen. The DM in my life landed his backside in prison. Oh, that hits me. What is your name? Because, see, the prison, that's a program. I believe you 100% on that. I mean, my birth father died in prison. My karmic was in prison. Think about it. If you're a twin, see, my twins now that I'm connected to, it's insane. I mean, when you get fully connected, they know where I'm at. I can see them. I can jump in their body. If they're thinking about making love to me and we just hung up the phone, I feel it. I get on the phone with them. I'm like, are you drinking beer right now? Because you're making me nauseous. Like, the energetics at its purest form, especially the higher you go up to 55, because there's not very many of us up here. So since there's not very, because it's an egg. So if there's not very many of us up here at this 55, then whenever you clear up here, man, we feel everything, right? But we're also feeling it for the earth. We're feeling it for all the ones that are hooked in underneath us. There might only be, 144 of us up here. How many are completely activated on the planet? I'm asking my consciousness right here. I'm hearing a little over 300. that are fully activated at the 55 that know, and that's incredible, because I mean, what, 6 months ago I asked and there were less than 10 of us that know how to operate at the 55. But then us up here are already intertwined at the 55, and we're making changes for the whole damn egg, is what I'm trying to make sure everybody understands. Okay? If you're down here at the 33, you're just bouncing like this still. You got to get up to the 55 at least for a minute. That's why everybody's like, I don't understand your information and it's just crazy. And well, darling, that's okay. But it don't mean that you listening to it and the frequency of it is getting you enough to the 55 so that you can make the connection to the 33, so you can make the change at the 44. Does that make sense? What's 9 minus 3? 6. Getting in the flow. Why'd I say that? 55, 5 minus 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. You got 3 at the bottom. There's 3, 6, 9 right there. I mean, it is what it is. I wish he could have listened. There's no reconciliation. Well, that, going back to that, listen, you have to let him go completely, because he's in there for a reason. Maybe he's supposed to be healing the ones in there. But what you need to realize is that the program was putting him in a room, which then makes you feel like you're in a room, right? The program is and what I'm saying is that most of our men were even set up. This is how the masculines are the most wounded. Us major monads that are up here at the top, man, I know. The bikers and the what you would consider the ones that you'd be scared of and run from. Whenever all shit broke loose in LA or wherever I was looking for a biker bar. Blue, baby. Listen. Why would they do that? You just told me that you can see the entire matrix in your head. So that means you're projecting it for all of us. That means that that's where I'm getting my information on what's going on, is through your visions. So putting him in a box, in a controlled, where he has no rights, he has to sign everything away, and that's what it all is. What you sign, be careful what you sign, be careful what you're agreeing to, be careful what you say you are. So with him, what I would do is, if you are communicating to him, is, first of all, cut all ties with them energetically. Because you need to, even, you want to cut ties with things every single day. Because whenever it does, then it allows him freedom to move up or go down, and it releases you, and it allows you to see what's then forming in the new. It doesn't mean that you're letting them go forever. Now, there might be a tower moment that you feel like, oh my God, I can't talk to him anymore. And then you have to go through the emotional part of understanding that codependent relationship and energetic, which fucking sucks. But then he's allowed to rise. And what he needs to be doing in there is affirmations, and he needs to understand and regain his control of his energy. And if he can control himself in there, I've done that and I've spoken to and haven't spoken. Okay, but you're still in your room. Understand that that's why you're in your room. Because if he is your true divine masculine and twin, which doesn't mean that you necessarily need to be together right now. Okay. I mean, it could be that in 5 years, when shit hits the fan on this planet, then you're healed, healed, and then that's when you come together for a mission. Right? But right now, the main thing is you need to realize that energetically, you're still so intertwined with him, okay, that's why you're stuck in your room, because he's staring at 4 walls, so you're staring at 4 walls. That's it. So now that you realize that, get your ass out of that room. A brother, that's my son, is like my brother. My 12-year-old. Always has been. He is my brother. I brought in my brother. Whenever you're the highest monad, whenever you're the original first daughter, then what is your son? Your son is your lover, it is your father, and it is your brother. If you're a man at the highest, first Adam seed, which I'm talking about, if you have that DNA from the original lineages from the last 1.5 million years of how humans were made here, okay, then the men then also see you. What are you to them? You're their daughter, their wife, their lover, and their mother. If Libra has stolen energy, how can it be redeemed? Well, Libra can't steal energy. You're balancing it. Libra didn't steal energy. That energy was blocked on the planet because it's basically like a flow diagram that's energetically weaving it in and out. So first of all, who is this? Sacred Melody. Sacred Melody. And the ones on the team can attest to this. I mean, I just now in the past week have become balanced to be able to come back on here and speak about all of this, because I was still operating under PTSD and manifesting. I mean, the major problem on this planet right now is every one of us is manifesting pure energy. It's just we don't know how to manifest anymore, and you're manifesting old shit. Period. Bottom line. Book closed. So blue flame integration, what you're manifesting right now is a relationship that you've cut, but that's just because you didn't have the consciousness to understand that energetically you're still attached to him. So but you can leave your house, he can't. See, I know that sounds real simple, but it's so funny how the perception works, because we can talk about it and we can say, and this is, I mean, I learned this. My monad team watched me painfully learn this. Painfully. If you don't have the consciousness to understand why you're doing what you're doing, then you don't know how to change it. You can't get out of the matrix until you understand why the matrix is holding you. Why is she finding, and Blue Flame, why is Blue Flame finding out about this right this second? Because right now is the time, and it's the probably safest time for her to leave her house. She didn't do nothing wrong. This consciousness and everything just flipped. There's a lot of us that are gifts you can't open up until it's time, especially those of y'all watching my channel right now, because you program it like that. Monad means aeon. It's back to, I proved tutor. When I proved tutor at my birthday a year ago, what then I had to do was walk the shadow of all the lineages that became before tutor. So what I'm saying is that I'm Arxiad and Ming dynasty is what my consciousness comes from, which would be considered to be extinct, Arxiad, and Ming as well. But no, it's not extinct. It's what we are part of down here. But then whenever we understand that we're connected back to that consciousness, then what happens is that you understand what that Akashic library is. But as you start bringing in that information, it's going to manifest in your life. If you're calling in for all your stuff, which is what we need to be doing, you're calling in for all your DNA, you're calling in for your family. This is the meek inherit the earth. This is how it works. This is what I'm telling you. We're doing it right now on the team. We're seeing it. All our 7 years is paying off. Just in the past couple of days, it's been a huge flip. There's a new soul has come in. Just freaks me out because I don't want to hurt. See? Baby, me and you, same thing. Right? Now, here's what I want everybody to do, and we're going to close up with this, because this is, you know, I'm just as special as you are. We all have the same gifts and same power. Some of us have mastered certain things and some of us hadn't. That's why healing and making sure everyone has a voice and taking back broadcasting and kicking entertainment out in the Rothschilds and dealing with all the crazy ass shit that I've had to deal with under attack, including that video that I froze out of here because I almost got deleted. It's what they were trying to do, is make all AB negatives null. If they made us null, then we were stuck in an avatar, and then they could run everybody else off an avatar. It's what they had been doing. But here's what we have to understand is that this 55%, you're up here. If you've been clearing and everything's clear in your life and you have healed, which blue flame you have, then right now you're at the same stage that a lot of the shamans and the major healers are at, that think they've got it all figured out, but they don't, because they haven't lived through what my crew just lived through, connecting these timelines back to 1300, 1200 in our physical life, because a man shows up with Tudor damn lineage and tries to steal your money. Because if I'm the queen and I'm gonna go reconnect for that queen lineage, and I'm gonna actually have the power and the consciousness of that queen to rule down here, then I'm gonna get pushed into a situation in my current life where I'm gonna have to make that same decision again, or not, that I made as a queen. So, it's why Libras go into the grocery store and we get a bad rap by not making it. It takes us forever to make a decision. And we're like, we're in the grocery store, and see, I figured this out 2 years ago. I'm like, why am I sitting here trying to figure out Colgate? Am I going to buy Colgate, or am I going to buy AIM? And it's like, it's driving me crazy. Like, I'm going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't care. I just need toothpaste. But why am I just sitting back and forth? That's because on some boardroom table somewhere else, they're using your consciousness to make a goddamn decision. Is it going to be Colgate or AIM? And they're using you because you are connected into the collective, and you can tell them which somebody's going to want. And it's all being decided by you at the damn grocery store. Massive wind. Does that make sense? Libras are the most patient beings on the damn planet. We ain't impatient at all. We're about to prove it. We got 13 on now. I like. Embodiment is the key. And you have to understand that and so now we're going back to Libra, because whenever we go from 12 to 14, what do? Blow out Kundalini. What is Kundalini? It's all those codes that existed inside your field that were sedated, that tells you who you are. You're getting back to the mystery of you. Ascension's actually a game. We're gamifying it. Give us just a minute, because we just got out. I mean, all the tech and everything that's coming up is gamification. In fact, it's how your energy is going to be able to make us currency, because your body is already in Bitcoin and shit. Your energy's being used for it right now. But whenever we get in and get the proper ways set up, then what's going to happen is that energetically you have a money frequency, and people can feel that, and you feel that, because if you're sitting on any type of money or currency or value or healing information or massive Akashic libraries of healing information, people are now for the first time seeing that as currency, and that is what our crew is experiencing. Instead of us going out and sharing our information and having, now I've never had anybody, just so y'all know, I mean, for, why did Christy get, why was I so important? Because I have 7 Libra, I've set 6 planets in Libra in the 7th house of communication, and I'm an Aries rising going straight for Alpha Draconic Notice 2, which is the new template of the 44. Which means that I was the Black Dragon, Lucifer, whatever you want to call it. Did I know that I accidentally manifested technology for 23 years and get us in this situation? No. when I was doing it. Was I being controlled to do it? Yeah. Whenever I woke up and figured it out, was I pissed off? Hell yeah. What did I accidentally do? Manifest a fucking war against myself. Right. So what you're doing now is you're tuned in to that overall collective. So now you're being more conscious about your decisions. And the Aries problem is what? That you're too far in your body and then you're reacting too quickly. You're being impulsive, which then you end up regretting because you didn't take a minute to get the rest of the information before you made your decision. That just gave you some type of activation. I felt it right here. I'm living in the mountains. No family has it. No kids. I'm wondering what the hell am I doing? Well, you're tiling yourself Northern Lights. That's the name that you chose. So if you're on here a long time, yes, it is cool to date. The puppies agree. Sorry, that's Bear and Bailey. Bear and Bailey. Why do I have Bear around all the time? Well, Bear was given to me, but they want me to say Bear, 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 Bayer, constellation, Bailey, another big one. Northern Lights, you're calling yourself Northern Lights. Well, what's the Northern Lights? Nothing but space and energy and air. So then you're in the mountains. My middle name is Christine. You're in the mountains, but then and just by you calling yourself Northern Lights, you're placing yourself there. It matters what you call yourself, and it matters what you. Long time since last time. Long time since last time. But you're also, hold on. Dale ese quieto, Bailey. Animals. If you haven't noticed too, we communicate a lot better with the animals than we do the humans right now. Northern I met is a really great person, but sharing boundaries is scary. I know. It's very scary. Here's what I've learned and through my experience, and my crew will attest, and y'all will hear about this. It's probably going to be a movie called Insta Man that my crews lived through with me. You have to trust your intuition, and you have to remember that, and you have to and this is where PTSD comes in, especially with those of us who are heart frequency. Again, back to why I'm a little bit different is because I hold so much alpha. I'm Sirius A. My mastery comes from Sirius A, not B, not C. I'm plasma. You're AB negative, you're plasma. Hashikirato! Your energy is plasma. You're in the heart frequency. And see, for me, my back was against the wall in this lifetime, and so many of us, your back gets up against the wall. We can mentally outthink it, but then what we did was we shut off our heart. But we had to. AB positive is fucking great, because basically that just means you didn't have to live the karma, and you didn't live the extremities of the AB negative. But then Ashikirandorenia. But then you don't have you don't know why you're scared. See, AB positive has all of the powers of the AB negative without the trauma, okay? But then the trauma that the AB negs lived through up until this point is the transmutation and understanding of those powers and why it happened. So AB positive, you've been blessed that you didn't have to have the extreme situations that I was sending you the information saying, don't go right, that just happened. So you didn't, you went left, but you don't really know why you didn't go right. So at some point, then you're going to have a situation that might push you into where you went right and you don't know why it happened, and it flung you back left. Does that make sense? So it's the trauma and the and in your consciousness to clear it to in order to balance it is going to give you that information. So if you feel like you've been plummeted with what you would consider low frequency memories or scary dreams, or even just in your reality things going cray, it's because you have to hurry up and see what you were able to jump, so that you can see that you're like me, and next time that you get to that fork, you look right and you're like, I got a bad vibe, I got a bad feeling, I'm not really sure, I'm seeing something, a roadblock up there, I'm thinking negative, I'm gonna go left. Okay, I'm feeling better about it. But see, before you didn't even know why you did that, so then how can you control it? See, everything's about learning your power. You made your chart. You did. You did. The only blood that matters is the innocent blood of Jesus Christ. Well, you're talking to Christ. My mama is an A negative with that RH factor. A, look, I'm not saying nothing about the Christ program, all right? But it was a program. Christ is a, it's not that Christ isn't real. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that book happened right now. I'm saying that the Bible is a living Bible. I'm saying go look up Daniel and you'll find AI in it now. I'm saying that there's truth and lies in all of it. I'm saying that whenever Jesus went to the census and he was lost for 3 days because his family went on without him, he was actually gone 300 years training the temple. I'm saying that whenever those three, and some of you that have that energy and that, and what is Jesus and what is Mary Magdalene? Syrian, cancer, consciousness, Egypt, Cleopatra, Mary Magdalene, Tut. See, because we skip back. We ain't at Jesus' timeline, bloodline. Nose babies. No, 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 no. We had to go all the way back to Egypt. We're in Egypt. We're in Egypt. We're already moving stuff with our minds. I can move cars off the road. How do you think I stayed alive? Y'all don't know my story. Yes, I'm deeply connected to that energy. There were two Jesus. There's many. It's not Jesus. It's Yahshua. Why did they put a J on it? Because J was made. It's a hook. See, this is where we get to phonetics. Be careful. Whenever you say Jesus, J, 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 what are you doing? J, J. J's were made by Jews. The cataholic would. But the Catholics are really the Protestants, and the Protestants are really the Catholics. So you can't. Religion. Every single religion on this planet had a reason. Even the Mormons in their gunny sacking had a reason. But then that gunny sacking then became a shadow that we all had to live through no matter what. When we create something new, then it's new. Now there's something that can use it against you. It's period the way it works down here. So if you're an angel and you come into this realm, then you are a freaking lightning bug, and then you're a bug zapper, right? And it all dark is coming at you, but that's why. Because of everything I've been talking about on this video. You have to freaking understand that it's not dark coming at you. You have to weave it in so you can pull it back so that you have room to exist. And whenever you know that you're a 0 point, when Yahshua, now let me go back to J. Why am I going J? Well, if you're talking to Jesus and you're calling him Jesus, he ain't hearing you. That frequency of that prayer ain't even getting up there if you ground it into Jesus. 1 2 3 1 2 1. 1 2 3 1 2 1. 1 2 3 1 2 1. 1 2 3 1 2 1. 1 2 3 1 2 1. 1 2 3 1 2 1. Yahshua. Yahshua. What's why? Y is, my brain just went black. XYZ, XY7, right? And then 2, 3. And then 1. And then 8, because you got an H in there. So then it bridges to the what? IA, which is EI, which is 9, 1, which is 10. AI is 01. So I'm not saying that that book is wrong. I'm saying the words that we say in that book manifest in this reality because of the phonetics that were put in that book, because of the names that they changed it to. But it was all set up by the collective, by the World War II and the Jews and all of that, because they had the keys. It's why phonetics and speech are changing. It's why I use da instead of thee. I don't use da. I don't call you sister. I call you sister. Because you are then connected to me to the 22-1. Not on a cross. A T is a cross. An E became mind control. R's a motor. So you have cross to the mind control, turn on the motor. Sisters keep the motor on. Nope. Sisters ain't keeping the motor on. Sisters are going to the 55. They're going to be hearing us from up here, whether or not they want to or not, because we're inside the blood, and that's the consciousness that's getting to them now, because my team can attest. I mean, it's how it's been working. It's what you've been doing connected to all of us, and each little thing that you do, and you didn't know why you were doing it, but whenever you read the book or whenever you talk to somebody and you go, oh my God, I had that same dream last night. Oh my God. I mean, we trip out. I mean, literally on Polo, we could be in 3 different countries all looking at a green frog at the same time. Same time. That's because we're working together whether we realize it or not. And so what I'm saying right now, and I'm going to close this with Blue Flame, because it's actually what I'm dealing with right now. What we have learned in my crew, and this is the most important part, you have been deceived by the devil. The serpent said you won't die if you eat knowledge. It's a lie. I love you. 1 cup, 2 bears. Your deception is that there's a devil. Your deception is that you're not in hell already. Your deception is that there's something coming at you. Problem is, you have such a light frequency that you're here to change so much, just like me. And I'm not saying that your perception is wrong, because I went through the same thing. When I first woke up, when you first wake up, it's light and dark battle. Everything's either light and dark, because you're making it, it's new. So you think that it's evil because you don't know any better, and because you think that evil's coming at you when you're projecting the evil for calling me a devil. And what I would do right now, my friend, is take that back, because the one thing you don't want to do is judge a 55th being. Because whenever you do, you're going to see the devil. And then you're going to say that it's me, but it's actually you. See, I lived through this. I said you have deceived. Well, darling, when you walk your path and you come back to me, we can have a different conversation. Because if you're telling me a 55, after all that I called in on this channel, that I've been deceived, then you've been deceived. And that's the truth. Because I know, and my crew knows, and everyone on here, and this is important, I'm not picking on you. I'm not picking on you at all. I'm feeling your energy right now. I'm getting antsy because I feel your energy, because I feel your kundalini. It's chism. How can you say that I've been deceived by the devil when I'm telling you how to connect your chism, just like Mary Magdalene and Yahshua? How can you say that I'm the devil when I'm Jesus' sister? How can you say that I'm the devil when I'm Sarah Damaris, darling? Because you don't know that Jesus was a reptilian, do you? Well, you shouldn't follow anybody but your own heart, because Yahshua set, if you go back to the Bible, it sounds like you know it. And whenever that man sat at that puddle of healing waters, Yahshua didn't pick him up and put it in it. He told him he could do it. Yahshua didn't manifest fish by himself. He met Mary Magdalene, who brought in the energetics, but she had a body that couldn't manifest in the physical realm. She had to be connected with her twin, who was more of the reptilian physical realm, because he can manifest the physical fish. But without the knowledge and the spiritual phonetics, you telling me that's evil? That's Enochi and angelic. If Mary Magdalene can't give him the information, then they together could not have manifested fish. And you, my friend, don't know anything about me. So we're going to end this just because I'm feeling your energy. And I block it from my field. Because until you completely know what the heck is going on, I suggest you not give anybody that information out loud, because what I'm helping you. And don't throw it in anybody that seems to know more than you. All right, I got 111291111. I received a reading. Darling, I'm not I'm not going to argue with you. But don't come on my channel and tell me. I'm not going to accept it for your energy to be thrown at me to tell me what I know about me. That's the thing. I'm here training and teaching you, and now I'm using you as an example on this channel to show others the process that you go through, because I'm not judging you. So why are you throwing energy at me? I'm just saying I'm not going to allow you to do it to me or anybody on here, because I know my path and my truth, and it's not up to you to judge it. You cannot agree with it, but you definitely don't want to call me a name or say that I'm something, because then you're going to have to go through it because I'm an AB negative. I've lived through all the programs. You haven't. You're here to teach other things. Maybe you're supposed to teach that Christ program. Maybe you're supposed to help those people, because it's a dimension that those people need the information that you're giving them, and it's supposed to happen like that. I'm not judging your path. Don't judge somebody else's, and definitely don't assign it that word until you really know what that is, because then you're only attacking yourself, is what I'm saying. And then the one, because I lived it, I know it, I went through this stage in 2017, right? It is what it is. You can tell me Christ, you can tell me Egypt, you can go back to any damn book that a human has ever written down here, and I'm gonna undo it, because it's a language that is set up on phonetics that was set up in Nebuchadnezzar. And Telestai is what broke it. And I brought in Telestai. So the rest of it is Karl Marx crap that ended up getting infiltrated by the French in the rewriting of books in the medieval times in order to control from now, because there is no time and space. And the illusion is that there's a light and a dark and you side with one or the other. Whenever the truth is, it's Arcturian and you're blending that information together. Jesus Christ did not say that. A man that wrote what he thought he said it. We donate out of love, not out of money is good money. That's true. That's true. And see, I'm just feeling that energy. I'm used to it. But this is also showing all of you how to navigate it. Because I don't want everybody to believe what I'm saying. You take whatever you resonate to. But my point is, don't judge somebody else for their perception. Because down here, in a clear field, it's the first thing you're going to get back. Bye, guys. Y'all know my email, coco@bcocochi.co, coco@bcocochi.co, which is magic. Just be coachy. Just be coachy, guys. Just be coachy and chill. If anything's reacting or you're having some reaction from something, and so, just hold yourself at 0 point, recollect yourself, and don't make a move. And when it comes back to PTSD and dating, what we have to remember in every situation now, for those of us who just got out of war, is that we're creating the new timeline. You state your intent. And if you have a friend, or you want to call one of us, or you want to get on Coco Polo again, because now that's going to change again, and because we're manifesting, and it's not so much of having to call out all this other stuff that we had to undo. Now it's only placing into the collective what we want to see. And when two or more come together, then you place the intent on whatever it is in your life, and then you have to go for it. And right now, with this scale right here, and with 12 degrees where the sun's coming in, the past 3 days of my life have been facing the biggest fears I have ever faced. And they have to do with my heart and love. They don't have anything to do with the Christ program, with cloning, with voodoo, with fighting demons, with getting off all this crap off the planet, all these low entity energies and beings and all that crap, and the government and financial and all that shit, that we had to rewrite. The problem is, when that new thing comes up, we immediately look to our moon because we haven't known anything else. And then we automatically assign that experience to the new thing coming. And if you know that you have been clearing, if you know, because you'll know if your soul's clear. You go through a spiritual ascension. I mean, you have celebrations, you have award ceremonies, you know. But when you're walking that, right, just remember, and that's what I'm having to do right now, is that the old stuff isn't going to come back unless I manifest it. Now, that doesn't mean that the relationship is going to be perfect, but only if I'm assigned this new person all this other stuff, is it going to manifest in them. Otherwise, it's just them, which is what you want, right? You don't want to project any of your old stuff on somebody new. You want to get to know the new person and see if you want to spend more time with them. See if it's helping you, helping them, you're growing. It doesn't necessarily mean that they might have some of those little ticks and quirks, but don't project it on them. Then if the if the tick comes up, then okay, wait a minute, that's from over here. Maybe I need to ask another couple of questions. Darling, I'm really not gonna listen to you blurbing this crap. So I'm gonna ask you to leave. I'm gonna ask you to leave. I'm done with that. But that exactly shows you. Is there any other stuff? Thank you guys for helping her or him or the bot, because I have this lovely K-bot that comes up every time I send out a video that y'all don't see that tells me I have a special place in hell, in a cell, although I know that I went back in to get all y'all out of hell 3 fucking times and died for it in this life. But I left her on there because I want y'all to see how to talk to people like that. Because I gotta grab my cards. I can't believe I'm still on here talking. This is a long video. I hope y'all like it. Please share the channel. We're gonna be changing this. Ow, my ankle. We're gonna be changing this to be COCHI soon, and I mean, we're building a broadcast channel. It's what I've been working for while I've been in LA, why I'm, you know, in this celebrity group now and working through. I'm staying till the end. Hold on 1 second, because I'm going to show y'all. We've got these dimensional cards coming out. My crew and I put these together. Whoops! Y'all still there? My crew and I put these together, and there's 64 cards. And I'm really trying to get the book out first, and then you're going to have these. Now, these aren't completely done yet, okay? We're using pictures, and we're going to change some of these around, but this is going to be a whole card series, okay? Meaning this will be the first 64 deck, and then we'll have another 64 deck that's basically your Monopoly board, that's dealing with these dimensional aspects of people. Instead of assigning tar, instead of putting it in tar and monarch program of kings and queens, because I mean, it's great to talk about that, but then we get upset that we're stuck with the king, but that's because the most powerful consciousnesses are watching tarot and they're aligning us with the king. So then if we're all kings, okay, great, but let's just get a little bit more specific, right? So this is like the Divine Feminine card, which is at the 232. Oh my gosh, I need to do my nails. Now on the back, then this is going to give you numbers. This is actually the Queen. There's an entire major arcana. In fact, I believe they're in order. This one is going to be the merging of your energies. This is the battle of light and dark, but this is also 33. You have a bot too, right? They're just there to like irritate us. See, this is 33, light and dark, 444 when you're seeing these synchronicities. This is 343 if you're seeing 343, 77. If you notice, I mean, this is pure carbon. But this is also the air, H-E-I-R. It's the divine masculine. This is masculine energy. You have to create carbon. But then but you have to have water. This is the feminine. This is the masculine. It's all air. It's all light and dark. Now we're getting some sustenance. Now this is dealing with water. And then so it's showing you how to put yourself together, okay? And it's also got, and they're kind of big. Hello, Gia Divine Goddess. We're just chilling this morning, man. 123 minutes. Good Lord, I've been on here 2 hours. But that is okay. Loneliness. So we're all feeling a little lonely right now. This is one of the emotional cards. We're feeling a little lonely. This is Scorpio, 0 degrees, looking out on those waters. Amazon women, we're over here. Where's our men? Where's our children? We're here. We're waiting. We cleared all this for you. Where are you? Realizing that it's coming. Realizing. Green light. Go. Yes. Green light. Whatever you just asked, the answer is yes. So each one of y'all, whatever you just asked, the answer is yes. What were you saying in your mind when you saw this? Good, lonely, right? But are you making yourself lonely? I got higher self. Merging with that higher self, putting that head. If you saw this video on my channel, go back and look for this picture. I made this out of pure light. Then I took this head and I put it on my body, and I stepped into an avatar. And then for a year, because I did that in the etheric, I fought through it in my life. Whatever you do in the etheric, you will live through. When you heal yourself, you will bring out that aspect, and it will come to interact with you to make sure you don't choose it again. And that's also number 64. This is the complete 46-64 flip. 10-10. 10-0-0-1. 10-0-0-1 is 1001. Well, what's 1 plus 1? 2. So then it becomes 0-2-0. What's 2? A flower, a bloom, in the middle of 2 dimensions. So what does that do? It creates a creative charge in order to manifest and create in the middle of 2 dimensions. If you don't have a 2 energy of creation, and what is 2? Your right and left heart. Your right and left heart. Left heart, your right heart, you have one. If you're having right heart chakra pains, it's because you have blue blood and it's been activated. Blue blood is some shit. Blue blood, that means that you've got to get it out of you. Now you've got it out. Now you have to unroot yourself. You're in it. You're the tree. You did it, but you're fucking stuck. How do you get stuck? That's what this card is, solo orgasm. Releasing that energy under, and so that's your answer, Northern Lights. That's your answer. And sexual energy and how powerful our sexual energy is so damn powerful. Oh my God, y'all, it scares the hell out of me. It does. It's what I have seen about what my sexual energy, especially those of us who are Isis and have passion and are Venus. Holy crap. Now the problem is, and I'll tell you this real quick, okay, and then I am going to end. Because when we talk about mastery in the Egyptian schools and stuff like that, that there are 2 things that once I get this old information out, and I call it old because I've been using it a while. I'm going to tell you. Whenever the main things I'm going to be teaching as mastery, okay, are how to get your powers and your gifts, how to manifest with your sexual energy and understanding what it is and how to utilize it and how to heal with it and heal others with it and heal yourself with it and control it, and dimensional walking. Those are my masteries that I brought in this realm, okay? And my story proves it. But when I first activated, and this was my whole entire life, and I know that there's some of you that are like this too, because we were in a confined cell down here. You are in a cell like a blister. And when your energy frequency, some of us who our power is our sex, okay, think about it, when your bubble goes into an orgasmic state, now y'all listen, when your bubble goes into orgasm, it right before orgasm, it's going to hit a frequency, right? So what happened to me my whole entire life, since I was old enough to understand what an orgasm was, every single time I would get close to having an orgasm, in any situation, I had this little movie that played in my head in my right eye. It I mean, every single time, because it's like, you know how when you get into orgasmic state, you're like this, and so your bubbles at a frequency. Well, now I know that I literally on my bubble had this energetic tie that whenever my bubble hit that frequency, it would alert my cell, and it would play this little movie in my head of every single horrible thing that I ever felt bad about sexually right before I came, right before I released. So what was happening is every single time, does anybody else have that? Okay. So why was that set up like that? See, this is where getting out of the matrix and understanding where the blocks were are where your damn powers are. And it's the most important thing. So it's not to get upset about the movie playing. It's to figure out, now you know that your sexual energy is the main damn thing they wanted. So how do you get rid of it? You do what I did. It's going to take you a minute, and you need to get realigned with your own sexual energy. You have to balance out your own sexual energy so that you attract somebody who's balanced out with their own sexual energy. How do you do that? You need to pleasure yourself. You need to get in line with that again. And it sucks because whenever you, at the beginning, whenever you start just exploring your body again, all those memories are going to come up of how your body was violated. So number one, you got to get through that. Number two, then you need to get, and I didn't do deep penetration. I think that's another thing. I purposely did not get a vibrator or anything that had deep, like, for a long time. I did at the end. But then I'd even lose it for a while because I wasn't supposed to have penetration. There's two different. It's clitoral, okay, clitoral orgasm. Just so that then you're not putting something in you. You're just reactivating yourself. I'm gonna add that there, okay. You have to Star Wars Princess Power it, and you have to know that it's coming, and then block it. You need to, and you will, because I did. You get to a point where, so then it's like the movie went away, but then I had a new challenge. The movie went away, but then the new challenge was the only wonderful sexual experiences that I ever had that I could bring into my imagination, because I'm not a masturbator. I'm not that if you are, that's okay. I'm not saying that, but I don't have a lot of Scorpio energy. So it's kind of like, if I'm not, I have to get myself in the mood, or there has to be a man around me that's getting me in the mood. Like, I can get in the mood, but I'm not thinking about it all the time. So it's like I'm hearing 2 months, really. If you had the movie playing, okay, because it took me about a month to get rid of the movie, but then I only had the recollection to be able to get to that orgasmic state by remembering past sexual experiences, and it was always with somebody I didn't want to picture. I'd always see this picture of my karmic, that we had great sex. That wasn't the problem. I mean, at the end of our relationship, after all the hell we went through and he was in prison, the one thing I said, "Can you not say anything good to me?" And he was like, "Well, you're the best lover I ever had." And I'm like, "Okay, well, that's what that was about. Thanks for letting me know." But then I could only picture him, and so it was like, then I had to go through an entire new process of not picturing a man. And so how did I do this? With intent. And I would write out on a piece of paper what it is I'm doing the orgasm for, because it has nothing to do. And look, this is how you manifest fish. This is what I told the people when they called me from another country and they were trying to figure out how to manifest food over there 3 weeks ago. I told them to come together as four. Did they have a loving relationship at all in those four? Yes, a married couple. You explain to that woman that this is what you're doing. You're going to make love to her, but the three men around you are with intent, with that loving union, are manifesting food. And you make sure that those four but see, you have to be able to get the lust of thinking it's another human in order to get there. So write on a piece of paper what it is that you're doing. Why are you doing that? I'm doing this to heal me. I'm doing this to heal my sexual energy. I'm doing this to heal the world. I'm masturbating right now for my book. I'm masturbating right now for the love of my family. I'm masturbating right now for the love. I want my sexual energy and bubble. I'm getting chills all over me to put out a bubble of perfume into the world, because that's what it is, and the bees hear it. So write it on a piece of paper, put it next to your bed, put a candle on top of it, turn on music. Look, I even lay in bed now that I know that I'm attached to my twin, even though we haven't physically met quite yet. It's coming like very quickly now, because because now I'm bringing him in. But I had to do all of this in order, and then we went through this crazy healing process of him and me, and me going sideways and da 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 da, in order to even be able to match that frequency, to ground it on the 44 parallel. You follow? So because then it has to match that frequency. So when you what I do now that I'm attached to him, and plus do not masturbate to anybody unless you have their permission. Don't don't masturbate to anybody that's somebody you don't know. You have to be able to ask them, or okay. So that's a whole nother thing that will help you get rid of the Hollywood imagery and things that they're utilizing you for as well, because that's how it was set up. Not to mean your twin could be a celebrity. If you're talking to him, that's one thing. Make sure that it's broad topics and things like that, okay? Because then that's going to power you up quicker in order to get it back into a man, if that makes any sense. But I will actually lay in bed now and tell my twin to come in my body and to explore my body, and I'll just lay in bed, and slowly it's like it's like he takes over my hands, and then I'm exploring myself through his eyes, and I can even hear him going, "Oh wow, you're so soft," and da 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 da. And then I'll even start doing things with my hands that I've never done before, and then that's when I know. And then I'll message him and I'll go, "Oh my God, what's the thing with the fingers?" And he's like, "What? Oh my God, how do you know that?" It's because I'm in your energy frequency and you just showed me. So it really is that tight. No, it's not. You're not making it up. You're not at all. And look, so many of us are already in union. This is a whole different video. Because some of us are already in union. But you don't know who it is. And look, then you have to remember, we're pulling together like 3 dimensions of them as well. If you're those of us watching this channel right now, we're healing the world. You're healing your twin. It took 3 generations to heal. So what I'm saying is, you might actually be dealing with your divine masculine in a union, but in your consciousness, you might deal with you're dealing with 3 versions of him. You're dealing with the 33, a 44, and a 55 level, and it's confusing the shit out of you. But it's the same person. It's the one that you're putting back together right now to show up. So it's like, you can't even get stuck on names. You really have to energetically feel into it. And it's the most important part when it comes to union. And it's why my experience has been so different, because I haven't done any of it with speech or touch. It's all been through communication, through internet and music and my reality. But then what that did was get us so intertwined. And it sucked, and I would cry and cry and cry, and I didn't understand, why can't I see him, why can't I touch him, why can't until we had to completely dismantle because he couldn't see what I was fixing to go through or he'd stop me. And my dragon mother sent shards to him in his dreams to tell him, do not come after her or I will kill you. And that's because I had to go finish this other part in order to even get out of this monarch breeding program and to get the rest of us out. And if he would have seen what his feminine was going into, he wouldn't have allowed it. He would have stopped it. But I had to be so, at that point, so connected into his energy to know that he was always here. He was talking to me. There was a few versions of it, and then I had to go explore even the fact that I ended up manifesting a pure version of him because I thought I cut it off. I was dealing with my shadow. So then what I ended up doing when he left was accidentally remanifesting a 55 layer twin that ended up having to deal with that. It's a trip. So, man, and that's Arcturus again, and that Isis energy again, because our sexual energy is so powerful. So, when you clean that, then you're a goddess. Like, I can't explain what happens once it finally clicks in. Lena is a walking goddess to me. When it I had to have so much alpha because I might be 7 planet stellium in Libra, but I'm an Aries rising, and look, I had to bring in 7 planets of Libra to balance my shit out. I'm so damn alpha. Don't let the package fool you. I'm alpha. I made this package. It'll sneak up on you, especially the alphas. It's why they're so scared of you, right? The riggers in the suits are scared of the women like me because they know that I have sexual energy and I know how to control it, and they all want to sleep with me. They also know that they can't not tell. If I tell them to do something and they're in a lower consciousness, like the Mason 33s, they have to do it. So the only thing they can do is get it to where they can't hear me or get other people to where they can't hear me because my frequency is going to hit their field and they're going to have to do it as long as it's balanced and it speaks for the people and it speaks for everybody else because then they have to do it. Right? So what is it that you're missing? So right now for Northern Lights, sitting in the woods, people. Now, there's a difference between people and humans. Hugh. We're getting back to Hugh. Emotions. Right? Emotions. You're attracting the emotions because Blue Flame, you're more in the consciousness. You've got to pull it in your body. Now you're going to start manifesting because you've cleared it. So now you're manifesting the new people in order to continue the path. None of it's right, none of it's wrong. It's all new experiences to be able to show you either what you've mastered or what you still need to learn. But if you don't move forward, then you stay stuck, which is why your DM's in prison. So the only way to get the DM out of prison is for you to get out of prison. Who knows? You're in the matrix and you're changing it. So if you go heal and you heal these versions of him that are coming at you, then automatically that case could be dropped. Those prison walls could open up just like that. And I'm not kidding. I've seen it happen. But you are the one who's conscious. You're the one who has to keep going. He can't move. But I'm saying just live in a tent or what? I'm trying to get to a tent with my twin in the middle of the desert. Come on, Jason. Come on. All right. Mwah. I love y'all. 1:43:45, and I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful all of you are here. I'm just so grateful for the now moment. I'm so grateful that all three, I'm just here with my crew, and Lena and my crew, if you're here, if you can jump in right now. And so, hey, email me and I'll get you my phone number. And look, we have a, if you have Marco Polo app, download the app. Send me an email with your phone number. I'm going to email you back with my phone number. You're going to, right now, I think there's 15 in the group, and we can change this all around. But all of us have been through this. We're not charging for it, okay? And all day long, we talk about what we're feeling, and you know, because all of a sudden, all of us could feel like bone hurt. We don't know why our bones are hurting. And I don't know why my bones are hurting. But I get on Marco Polo, I leave a little video, and Michelle and Holland's like, oh crap, I'm feeling that too. And then we put it together and we understand what's clearing, so that we don't take it in upon ourselves and think it's us, is what the main thing is in the beginning. And then there's so many of us that have been through these things that we help each other, and we have to keep talking about it, because if you don't talk about it, it gets stuck in your Antares, which is your throat, and then it doesn't come out speaka, which is your frequency, which is your vibration, which is the only thing that changes shit down here. But if you speak about it in a lower frequency, you can accidentally keep manifesting it. If you speak about it in an emotional, see, I'm not the one you want to call whenever you want to break up with your boyfriend and cry about it. I'm not the one you want to call if you're not ready to get rid of your man. I'm the one you want to call when you're done, because I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. I'm going to listen to you for a minute. I'm going to let you cry about it. But whenever you tell me over and over and over and over, I'm not going to let you reconcrete that old shit in an emotional frequency that's going to keep you bound. I'm going to make you stop, and I'm going to show you why. And if that pisses you off, then you came to the wrong person, because you're not ready to cut it. That's okay. But my friends know I'm not the one to call for that. I don't get those calls, because I'm going to help you fix it. You don't want to fix it, you just want to talk about it. Okay, well, that's not me. Because I'm not going to let you do it because I love you. It's not because I don't care. It's not because I don't want to hear your emotional stuff. It's because I know I've been there, and you're hurting yourself by continuing doing it. And a lot of times people take that as me being a cold-hearted bitch, when the truth is, I love you more than you love yourself, and I'm not going to let you keep doing it, because I've been down that road. See, we got this. And the truth is, a lot of us have it wait. Like the shamans and everyone of the world, they're the ones moving in now. So it's like the shamans and everything of the world, you know, they don't have this higher perception of energetics, and how we can control lightning, and how we are controlling the government, and how my video the other night caused Trumpy Rump to have COVID. But what's COVID? It means you're activating. So Biden sitting there yelling that he ain't got it means he's a damn clone. If he never gets it and he's never had it, then he's just been a fucking clone. We're about to see a major, 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 major truth alarm go off all across the world, and it's going to be a major heart chakra activation, because we've got 3 rays aligning for the first time in a ray that's never been here, and it's coming all the way from Arcturus. And the only reason that it got here is because they were trying to harness it with SpaceX 9, which is what blew me out of the goddamn matrix, which is what shut this whole thing down. All right, guys. I'm so grateful to be back with y'all. This was fun. And share the video, all right? Y'all follow me, CoCo22G, as well on Insta. We're opening up some other Insta lines, and I'd love to even partner with you guys if y'all have different ways to help, you know, to help us get this information out, as we're still getting sites up and everything, because a lot of us are just now healing. You know, this is the first time I've got to stop. So, and I'm finally bringing this feminine energy back in, but it's because I had to be so alpha. And I had to stand up for all of you. Because, see, this is where it kind of got messed up because this new raw consciousness, or the old raw consciousness, thought all of the Syrian beings were like me, and that's not the truth. You know, see, I'm alpha. You guys didn't have the alpha to stand up and have to do what I did, but that's why I'm the alpha. And so there was a misconception within the entirety of consciousness that all Syrian beings, are all conscious organic beings, were like me. And it's like, what it pushed me into is being the leader of creatives. And it's so funny because working in the and look, you know, before my activation, I mean, I'm an accredited entrepreneur. You know, Christy, I I'm known in the future as a business mogul, but it's because I've already written it. It's about to come. I know how to build businesses, and I worked in that crap forever because they had me in it building it, right? So, but what's funny in the entertainment and broadcasting and all that is that no matter how they all look at me and say, nobody understands this information. Well, hey, you're wrong. You don't understand the information. What you don't understand is that there's millions and billions of us waiting for you to fucking say it. And what you don't understand, that there's an entire target market that you're missing because you're letting that program tell you that what I'm saying isn't correct. Whenever I'm telling you, you're out of your mind. Go look at YouTube and freaking look at all of us trying to freaking get this information out to everybody else. So I order right now that misperception to be dropped by the raw consciousness. This is information that has to get out. It's why we're taking back the broadcast stations, because we don't have time to build other ones. So you need to move over and you need to let us in. And I call that in. And so it is. I've been wanting to get into the feminine energy, pulling that. It's been rough, freaking A. We had to be so alpha. Blue, we need to talk. Text me. Download Marco Polo. Send, and then we can chat back and forth on video. And then we've got Lena, Fernando, Michelle. We got other healers on there too. That then you get all of our different perceptions, and and we're supposed to talk to you because we need to integrate your information to help us, and a lot of y'all now are coming in to help us with the projects that we've already got started because they're so freaking massive. And it's not like it's my project. StarAONomy is not mine. StarAONomy is multidimensional psychology. I mean, my God, and when you get into the charts and I get into the dimensionality of these energies, and I'm just telling you the energy of the star systems. We haven't even done a chart. It's a basis of understanding of multidimensional human organics and the process of ascension within those energy fields that everyone has to go through or has been through in the last 5 years, and what's going to happen next. See, we have a map laid now, so anybody can follow our map or they can choose not to, but we've already cleared this hole. So if you follow this hole, and you might have to jump here and it might seem real tricky, but if you just do it, then you're going to get your own perception and you're still going to get out. If you want to try another route, you can go be my, please go do it. But from those of us who just walked it, when you get from 44 to 55, you're dealing with some shit that's going to blow your goddamn mind. And if you try to do it from an angular Tesla financial 3 triangulated, you ain't going to get out. We all need each other. And that's why it's so important for us all to speak. And that's why Marco Polo worked so great, because it gives all of us a chance to speak. And if there is an energy where we start arguing or fighting or something like that, it's like it's like, okay, one of us jumps in and says, wait a minute, this is exactly what we need to see. See, the Syrian consciousness thinks about it this way. The raw consciousness is seeing it this way. They're both right. Why is it bothering you? What's going on in your life right now? It all overlaps. The quicker you see it, the quicker you pull yourself out of it. Now you've caught it. Once you've caught it, the magic can't stay. Once you see the string tied to that penny, you never not see the string again. All right, I'm really leaving now. Bye. I love y'all. Narati. Okay, ashikera taro yende rendi asakira nono mote asakara moya. And it did in asakira to no 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 asakira to shikira mono randaya. Northern Lights. And everybody can close their eyes right now, but specifically for Northern Lights, I've put so many heads back on. So many heads. When I start going, no, 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 I'm so in energy. And it's usually in the neck. And right now, that is Sekira Patosha Kirapatakara, Sekira, no, 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 no. And it's Sekira Patoroma, no, 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 Sekira Toto, Shikira, Sekira Totoranda, Sekira Pataka, Sekira to Sekira Hoshike Sekindo Rende Esse. Deep breath. So what that just did was connect and go through. When I started speaking the zeta, it was plowing through those matrix webs. I'm seeing webs, Northern. And blue flame, northern blue flame. And then we went through them, and then we pulled it up in frequency, and we just escalated your energy up. Did y'all feel that?